Akon, thank you very much for joining Variety at our studio in Cannes Lion. Just to start, I was wondering if you could talk about why you're here in the south of France. You're here to introduce Akoin,
Actually,
right?
yeah, I was here to launch the Akoin, which is my dream for it to be the currency of Africa in the future. I feel like crypto is going to be the savior for it, ultimately for the security, the transparency, and the future of it. You know, I think ultimately the younger generation in Africa are very keen to how digital works. Everyone has 2 cell phones, even if you live in a village. So it's only right you transform into that new technology moving forward.
How did you come up with the idea for Akoin?
Actually, I didn't come up with it. It was already out there. I just, I think I had to come up with a specific name. It was supposed to be the Africa coin in my mind, but I was like, Akoin, that's actually kind of perfect.
Did you come up with a name? Because it's a good name.
Yeah, I came up with the name.
Yeah.
I did come up with the name. It just happened. It was a coincidence that it sounded like my name. You know what I mean? I think that's what gave me the confirmation that this was something I'm supposed to be doing.
And then what steps have you taken to set it up and to make it a reality?
We've taken all steps. We got everything in order, all the way down to the white paper to now we're launching and we're about to ICO in a few weeks, so we're excited.
Can you talk a little bit about where you can get it and how it's going to sort of function? There's going to be a headquarters, right, in West Africa?
Headquarters will be in multiple places, but ultimately Africa will be the main headquarter. Where in Africa, it's probably going to be Senegal, between Senegal, Nigeria, and South Africa.
And in Senegal, you're going to have a large area in which you're going to develop?
Yeah, well, there's a huge development that I'm putting together in Senegal. That's actually probably be interview number 2 once we get that in full effect. But my idea is to build a crypto city in Senegal, which will house the crypto coin itself and ultimately invite the crypto community into Senegal and create that world of digital capacity for the younger generation to be able to move forward.
What's a crypto city?
The crypto city is pretty much a city ran by kryptonites.
Sounds
Ultimately,
like something out of Superman.
it does sound crazy, but it's ultimately a crypto city. The city will be pretty much, the engine will be cryptocurrency. You know, completely immune from the outside currency rules, everything. So it's a futuristic city. The city will be futuristic. The currency will be moving forward futuristically. All the ideas, all the way down to the energy, will be all renewable. And I mean, it's just, I'm trying to create something that just never been done before in Africa, and I want it to be the leapfrog city. In other words, all the latest, newest technology that exists and about to exist will be there first.
And how much do you think it will cost to set up that city?
I never really get into cost, because especially with stuff like that, you just never know what that number is going to be. But, you know, the whole idea is try to do it in a very cost-effective way, because of the fact that a lot of it will be new and haven't been done or seen, and some of the stuff might even be invented in the process. The cost can range for wherever it needs to go, but I don't think cost will be my biggest worry. Is really more so coming up with the most innovative ideas, technologies, and instruments that can utilize that city to be able to move forward efficiently.
Who are you talking to see how you can set all this up?
I'm talking to everybody. The biggest who's of crypto world, digital world. If the name came in your head, we've had the conversation. Just know that all the top people are going to be involved with this thing.
How did you first learn about the crypto world?
I learned about it just being in the community, I guess. I was always a digital geek quietly. At the time, it all started with me in music, actually, when everyone was pretty much into CDs and CDs was going into MP3s.
Yeah.
I realized that ringtones was the smartest way to sell music. And while everyone was selling music for $2.99 a single, I was selling ringtones 15 seconds at $4.99 a piece. You know, when you do those numbers, it's like, whoa, like, you know, I'm boosting those out, and because of that, I was able to accomplish getting the Guinness Book of World Records for the most ringtones sold worldwide. And it just kind of triggered me getting more into the digital, because I was always just attracted to something that was new, innovative, and kind of just outside the box. You know what I mean? I was trying to find new ways to whether distribute my music or present my music or even create a sound that would be completely different from what I'm doing. Like even when you listen to my albums from album 1 to 3, you can clearly hear the contrast and differences. Like no album sounded the same, you know?
Do you use Bitcoin?
Yeah, actually have a very quite interesting story about Bitcoin in the past. I don't know if I should be saying this right now, but it's, I can say I was probably one of the beginners in the beginning stages of it.
You're not going to tell us the story? Give us a little bit.
I kind of like to leave that as a mystery, but if you ever run into Brock Pierce, ask him about the story with Akon and Bitcoin. He'll tell
Really?
you.
So you have a lot of money invested in Bitcoin?
Just know that I'm very invested. You know, I've invested enough to want to start Akoin and start that to be Africa's currency. So,
do you think that this kind of currency is sustainable and will remain valuable?
that's a question that everybody's asking. I mean, it's the future. It's almost like when analog was the thing and everybody was like, well, this digital thing, do you think it's going to be the next biggest thing? It's like, it's inevitable. Guys, we're going into the future. It's like, you're not going to, these are things that you hear since 1990, that one day there'll be paperless currency. Mm-hmm. If you don't see that direction going in there now, it's like, you're stupid. You're like idiot. Like, you're not even of this world if you don't see that that is the future. Because what happens is you have people that's so used to the past that they don't want to let go of it.
Right.
And it's always this resistance. And that's what's going on with the government now, because they want to be able to control how things move. But digital just takes the control away from you. You know what I mean? Because sometimes that control is not good for the people. And the people are in a position now where they just want to make decisions that benefit them and not your agenda. Mm-hmm. And I think, you know, this blockchain crypto is going to be one of them situations that allows people to have that financial freedom and have that transparency all around it. You know, they were saying that, you know, blockchain is not quite the security side of, or the mechanism that actually creates that security. It's the crypto and the, you know, the security that's based around the blockchain that makes it that secureness and gives it that confidence. And I think as blockchain exists and as it goes forward and as it develops, it gets more and more secure, more and more people will have more faith in it, and it becomes something more than we expect it to be today, because everything develops into something major.
Why is it so important for you for Akoin to be in Africa?
Mainly for those reasons. Is I think transparency is key in Africa, and I think that's what we're missing. And security is the ultimate question. You know, do we trust? And when you look at Africa's currencies, I mean, you got over 40 countries with their own money. Like, how do you have a continent with that's rich in so many resources and you can't utilize that resource because the dollar's not stable enough, you know? And it's like the currency just hasn't been stable in hundreds of years. And that's only because there's so many currencies itself. And I think that blockchain currency will ultimately, crypto will actually become that one thing that unites Africa together as a currency that people can actually be able to be a part of.